Alright, so I've actually already made this video, but I'm having to make it again because, whoa, look at this, by the way. That's disgusting. I didn't realize this was rustling like this the whole video, and it was so annoying. Um, so I'm doing it again. Probably won't be as good as the first time, but at least it won't be rustling. Um, so yeah, I was a teaching assistant in a primary school for a day, which is like agency work. It's where you go, you work for a teaching agency, and they set you up with different schools until you find something permanent. So I wasn't working with the school directly, but yeah. Um, and so I'd never met this teacher before, and I came in a little bit late because I got lost on the way back. Um, I had awful uh, directions. I've been diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know if that's related, but anyway, this video is about basically ADHD, and it's also about just schools in general. And I think some things that just annoy me about them as a former pupil, and also as a present employee, the blue passport. What? Anyway, um, what was I talking about? Yeah, so I walked into the lesson, and the teacher was like, just like ranting at them, and he said, "Sorry, I'm having a rant or something." I was like, "Right, okay, cool." He didn't give me any instructions. He didn't give me instructions for the whole lesson, so I was basically just standing there and doing nothing for an hour. So that was fun. Um, it wasn't fun. I felt incredibly bored. But anyway, that's not the problem. Um, so he was having a go at them basically for things that I would describe as literally traits of ADHD, like fidgeting, which I'm doing right now, fidgeting, not standing still. Yeah, that was basically it. And he was making them out to be signs of, you know, disrespect and, just kind of not trying hard enough because you should just be trying harder, and it's not good enough, to be honest. And that annoyed me because he was getting really angry at them because they had been doing some kind of musical production with steel drums, and they had been like fidgeting in between songs and whatnot. And so he spent about half an hour at least just uh, going at them, telling them it was disrespectful and it was wrong and it's just awful behaviour. And yeah, he was saying all that, and I was kind of getting annoyed because I was like, I have been diagnosed with ADHD and I fidget, and I know I'm fidgeting literally right now, and so I know it's very difficult for people with ADHD to not fidget, and he knows that too because he would have been taught that because he's a teacher and they get told it nowadays. And he was singling out like a few boys in particular, and I thought to myself, I bet they've got ADHD. And he was really like kind of trying to get into like make them feel like shame, as like moral. There was like a moral failure in them, and it's unacceptable. And I was kind of getting annoyed. And then the tipping point was he made one kid stand up, and this kid had his hands behind his back and was like deadly still, like he was like a statue. And he was like, "This is how you should all be, all of the time." And yeah, that just annoyed me because I was literally like, the rustling. I was literally moving at the time he said that. I was just swaying because I was so fucking bored just listening to him, as I'm sure the kids were too. And so I said, I like sort of just called out, I can't do that. And he was like, yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, yeah, I know. I was like, what? No, I can't do that. Like, I have ADHD and I can't do that. He was like, well, Yeah, actually, a lot of the kids in this class have ADHD. Yeah. Okay. So why are you saying this then? What? If you know that they can't do it, why are you saying? Why are you? Why are you making them feel shame for not being able to do it? Do you think that's good? Like, you don't think these kids already have to deal with shame for being different, and now you're just like berating them for the literal traits of ADHD that are wired into their brain? Like, I know you can't use it as an excuse all the time, and you should try and improve regardless of your disability. I get that, and I've been doing that my whole life. But I just don't think. I think you should just go a bit easy on them and not just like, really sort of dig into that sort of shame, and just be like, you are bad people for this. It's like, well, that's going to stay with them for their whole life, actually. And then they're going to grow up with low self-esteem, and then that's going to cause them a lot of trouble when they're an adult, and they're going to, get into toxic friendships and toxic relationships, and they're not going to stand up for themselves because they're going to believe deep down in their soul that they are bad people because they were told by adults when they were younger that all of the way that their brain is wired is morally bad and it's their fault, and they're just not disciplined enough, and they're not, as hardworking or as respectful as the other kids, and it's their fault. It's like, I don't really understand how. I mean, if you think about it, I don't understand how he's allowed to do it, how to say those things, but it makes sense, really, that he is, because what are we supposed to do? Like, the man is usually in there by himself with probably one other teaching assistant, maybe, and no other adults are watching him. He can say whatever the fuck he wants to like 30 kids at a time. And if he doesn't really believe in ADHD and he just wants everyone to listen to him all the time, and if not, then it's disrespectful. Then he can tell them that, and he can say whatever he wants, and that's happening. I think we're lucky that teachers are usually good people, but not all of them. But what are you gonna do? I don't know. I also just generally find it annoying that teachers, they just don't seem to understand. I mean, look, I get the point that discipline is important in schools, otherwise the kids won't learn anything, so you do have to sort of follow the rules sometimes, but I do find it annoying that they don't seem to understand the kids don't want to be there, and so it's not disrespectful that they're talking sometimes when you've been talking to them about fucking Pythagoras' ballsack for an hour straight every day of the week, and then they have a little natter to their friends, and it's like, excuse me, are you having your own private conversation? This is very appalling behaviour. I mean, I haven't. It's like, shut up. No. Is it major power imbalances? Like, of course, it's not disrespectful to you. You're disrespecting them by making them sit through this bullshit, which they're never going to use in their whole life, by the way. But we have to learn maths up to age 16 and science. And just, why? I'm sorry, I don't personally find maths to be a very interesting subject. Just abstract fucking numbers. I don't care. Okay, and I've never used it, but I had to do it because otherwise I couldn't, go to university if I didn't get a certain maths grade. Why? Change it. Can we change that? Does anyone in the fucking country agree that we shouldn't change it so that you don't have to do maths up to 16? Why do you have to? Why do you have to learn about triangles? Who cares? The hypotenuse, who gives a fuck? I'm sorry. I mean, it's been said a million times, but it will keep being said until the government changes it. Why do they learn about hypotenusae instead of, things that actually matter, like, life skills, like saving money, not falling victim to addiction, not learning how the fucking stock market works or something. Like, no, let's learn about the triangles. Why? Are you stupid? Jesus Christ, change it. It's like, what are they doing? Procrastinating changing it? Why? You're the government. Can you just do it? Can you just get off your fucking asses? Like, Jesus Christ. Anyway. That's the end of the video.